Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Tea on the Porch. Am I the a-hole for feeling offended when a girl covered her drink while I was talking to her? I'm not the most social person. Neither am I the nicest guy, but I've been trying to get better at talking to people instead of just sticking with those close to me. There was a cute girl standing by herself for a bit, so I went up, said hey, introduced myself, just normal conversation stuff. Not long after I started talking, she took out one of those drink covers, the ones with the little hole for the straw, and put it on her cup. She didn't say anything, but it felt pointed, I guess. Like, I know that whole thing is about people being careful with their drinks, but the timing made me feel like it was because of me. So what? So what if it was because of you? I mean, she doesn't know who you are. How does she know what you're going to do? Like, you might know that you're not going to do anything, but she doesn't know that. And as a girl, I would do the exact same thing just to keep my drink safe. It kind of threw me off, so I didn't stay long. I just ended the convo after a minute and went to talk to someone else. I assumed she wasn't really comfortable, and I didn't want to make it awkward. At least you're not trying to make her uncomfortable. Later, she came up to me and asked why I just dipped like that. I said I didn't think she wanted to talk to me, especially after she covered her drink right when I walked up. Oh my god, dude. She got kind of annoyed and said it wasn't about me and that I made it weird by leaving. That's the part that's confusing me. If it wasn't about me, fine. But at the same time, it felt like a pretty clear signal and a slap to the face, so I backed off. How is that a slap to the face? I don't understand that. So, you're offended that a girl is trying to protect herself? That offends you? She literally just put a lid on her cup. I mean, I was thinking like maybe it was a coaster or something until you pointed out that it was the one with the holes for the straws like everybody uses. It is kind of stupid, dude. I'd say you are being an asshole. Now I feel like it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Am I the a-hole? Edit. A lot of people are focusing on me saying I was offended or that it felt like a slap to the face. That was a poor wording on my part. I wasn't upset at her for protecting herself. It was more that I felt awkward and like I might have made her uncomfortable, so I took it as a cue to back off. I understand why women take those precautions, and I'm not judging her for that. You say that you didn't want to make her uncomfortable, but just you walking up and talking, there's always going to be a little bit of uncomfortableness because she didn't come up to you. So when you're approaching her, maybe she didn't want to talk to anybody. You don't really know how people feel in the moment. The best you can do is say your piece and wait for a reaction. And if that reaction is her saying she doesn't want to talk to you or walks off, then you know that you made her uncomfortable and she's giving you a signal that she doesn't want to talk to you. But clearly she wanted to talk to you. And I feel like if you had just stayed there and been a normal human, you probably would have done just fine. Let's go down and look at some of the comments. You're the a-hole, and that's a huge red flag. She wasn't just covering it up from you. She was covering it up in case someone snuck up while she was distracted by speaking with you. That does happen too. Sometimes you've seen it in movies before where someone will get someone's attention and then their friend will come up behind them and drop something in their drink when they're not looking. Like, it's crazy. It's kind of crazy that kind of thing actually happens. You're the a-hole, but I'm going to explain why, as another guy myself. Okay, so that way, this is a learning experience. The reason you got offended is because in your mind, you know you aren't the kind of guy who would do that. She doesn't know that, though. Yep. And the really important thing to zero in on here is that the kind of guy who would do it acts exactly the same as a guy who wouldn't in this situation. But I was just trying to talk to her, you'll say, but a guy who actually did want to spike her drink would also be trying to look like he's just trying to talk to her. In a situation like this, the only smart thing to do is to take the same precautions every time. She's right that covering her drink had nothing to do with you. It has to do with the action. She wasn't suggesting that you were going to do it, but rather trying to communicate that she was the type of person to prepare herself against such an attack. And you responded to that preparedness with anger. You took it personally, made it about you, instead of acknowledging that this is a perfectly reasonable precaution for women to take in a bar. By reacting the way that you did, you at the very least made yourself seem like the kind of guy who would get into but not all men debates with women. She doesn't want to deal with that, and at worst, you made her and everyone around the situation think that your intention genuinely was to slip something into her drink. She probably thinks you protest too much. She probably thinks you got caught in the act. The fact that she covered her drink and that made you walk away does kind of seem like that's exactly what you were trying to do. I'm just going to leave it at that. Am I the a-hole for not going on my girlfriend's birthday trip? I've been dating my girlfriend for a little under 2 years, and her birthday is in a couple of weeks. She's turning 30, so she's very excited about it. We both work at an airport, so we get free flight benefits. My girlfriend decided she wanted to go to Hawaii for her birthday because she's never been. She made a group chat and invited all of her aviation friends and their spouses/partners who also get free flights. She invited around 8 people, including myself, and every person said yes to the invite. She got a huge Airbnb with enough space for everyone. The problem is, the day she booked it is during my niece's birthday bash. My girlfriend's birthday coincides with my niece's. And last year, I wasn't able to celebrate my girlfriend's birthday because I went to my niece's. We are in a long-distance relationship, for context, so I have to drive/fly to see my girlfriend. I was in my hometown, and since my niece was turning 4 and going into her first year of school, I wanted to celebrate that with my family. This is your girlfriend you are in a long distance relationship, which tells me that you don't get to see each other very often. You already missed her birthday last year, and now you want to miss it again. Not saying that that's not important, but like you're treating it like your girlfriend is second to your 4-year-old niece. And you could totally take this trip for free, which not many people get to do that, by the way. As soon as I hit 30, I almost got a physical response to like, oh my God, I don't want any more birthdays after this. Once you hit that 3 and you get out of the 2s, you don't want to go up anymore. You just want to stay right where you're at. Or, like, you can't get younger, but you get older. And from there, it's literally downhill. My niece's birthday is on June 9th. My girlfriend's is on June 10th. She booked the trip for June 8th to the 12th. My parents are throwing my niece a huge party on the 9th. I don't remember being 4, and if I ever had a birthday, I just don't remember it. And maybe that's just me. Maybe some people do. I don't know. But I feel like you can probably skip out on this one, at least for a couple of days. I'm sure everything would be fine, and I bet even his family would be okay with it. You missed her birthday last year. She wants to go on a trip and take you with her. I think that's big. Yeah. That would be a nice trip. Yeah, I think you're definitely an asshole for it. For sure. The thing is, I can't do both. I would if I could, but if I left June 10th, I would spend all day flying to Hawaii and only be there for 1 day. I'd be so jet lagged, so it doesn't really make sense for me to do that. I also want to help my parents with my niece's party, and I'm in charge of getting the cake and some decor. My girlfriend seemed upset when I told her this and said, "Look, it sucks because you missed my birthday last year, but I understood." Yeah. This year isn't just a birthday trip, it's a couple's trip too, and I thought it would be nice for us to travel together. I know your niece's birthday crosses with mine, but these were the only dates all of my friends could get off from work. Is there any way you and I can celebrate your niece's birthday a different day with her? We can take her out somewhere fun. I feel like that's a good idea. And I'm sure your 4-year-old niece will understand. She's 4. I told her while that was a sweet gesture, I don't feel comfortable doing that. But you feel comfortable ditching your girlfriend to go on a trip by herself, on a couple's trip, no less, on her birthday. That you're comfortable with? But you don't feel comfortable not going to your 4-year-old niece's birthday party? Like, it makes absolutely no sense. I'm super close with my niece. I've babysat her almost every weekend, and I spend so much time with her. Even more reason to skip it. Like, all I'm hearing is reasons why it would be okay, not more reasons why you should stay. That's just me. It'll break her heart if she knows I missed her party. She's been asking me if I'm coming to it almost every time I see her. My girlfriend then went into a spiel that I prioritize my family over her and that I've done this on several occasions. She said she's starting to worry about a future with me. I mean, frankly, I would be too. Like, I feel like this person sees it and just doesn't give a shit. I feel like that right there pretty much just says how much you care. And even, it almost feels like the tone of this post is just indifferent. That really offended me because she knows how much I love my family, and I don't think there's anything wrong with making family a priority, especially since my girlfriend and I aren't even married. What does being married have anything to do with this? You get mad whenever she says you prioritize her family over your family over her, but then you expect her to be okay with just missing every one of her birthdays. I told my girlfriend I will make it up to her when she comes back. What can you do to make it up to her that is better than Hawaii? I would love to see that one. I'll take her to her favorite restaurant, and I already purchased her the purse she's been wanting. Oh, brother. Am I the a-hole for not going to my girlfriend's birthday trip? Yeah, you're a major asshole. Like, a major asshole. I mean, the fact that you even have to ask that, again, just shows your indifference, I feel like. I don't understand how you can expect your girlfriend to be okay with you missing her birthday again. Not the first time. This is second year in a row you've missed hers, to attend for the second time in a row your 4-year-old niece. And again, not trying to like say that, it's just a niece or she's not important. Of course, family is very important, but I feel like for the second year in a row, I'm pretty sure your 4-year-old niece will understand. I do feel like it's probably your girlfriend's turn at this point. You're the a-hole. I get it. As an aunt myself, I was to be there for all my nieces and nephews' stuff. But this isn't some small birthday for your girlfriend. It's a huge milestone. You went to your niece's birthday party last year. This is going to be one of those things you need to alternate. Do you see a future with her? Can you imagine going on your birthday trip and everyone else has their loved ones but you? Put yourself in your girlfriend's shoes. If you had a really big birthday coming up and you wanted to take a trip, and your girlfriend said, sorry, I'm not going. You can go by yourself with your friends and their spouses, and I'm just going to hang out here with my 4-year-old niece. Would you be okay with that? You're the asshole. 30 is a big birthday, and you already missed your girlfriend's birthday last year for your niece. It's your girlfriend's turn. 100%. They don't live together. They don't see each other on a regular basis. You already don't get to see her. And you're going to miss her 30th birthday? You're the asshole. Break up with her so she can find someone better. Yeah, your girlfriend is 30, not 18. She's thinking about a future, and you just told her you don't see a future in which she's the most important member of your family. Don't be surprised when she decides to celebrate 30 by being single. Yeah. You're the a-hole. Your niece will be upset for a while if you don't go to her birthday, yes, but she will forget this birthday. Your girlfriend is not going to forget this. You even went to your niece's party last year. And I didn't even notice at first that you're long distance. Yeah, there you go. That makes it much worse. You don't even spend that much time with your girlfriend and you're not going to go on her trip. She's going to leave you. Honestly, I hope she does. She would be so much better off. Everybody's just basically saying, I hope she leaves him because she deserves much better. Yes, you are most definitely the a-hole. On to the next one. Am I the a-hole for leaving during my wife's labor? My wife went into labor around 6 p.m. on Sunday. We were expecting twins. It quickly turns into a very painful process. She kept cutting off the blood pressure to my hand when she squeezed and nearly sprayed my shirt with vomit. Ooh, oh my gosh. Poor woman. Around 3 a.m., my dad calls. I work for my dad's company, and we had a presentation for clients Monday morning that I had to get ready for. But your wife's in labor. I feel like it would be okay to skip it. Just saying. My dad heard my wife was in labor, but told me he needed me on this presentation. He said there was nothing I could do to help my wife and delivery, and seeing the baby come out was overrated, and people don't prepare you for the gore. He said he needed me to rest up and make myself presentable for the presentation. My wife's labor was progressing very slowly, and we were all certain she would need forceps or other assistance to deliver babies. Newsflash, a lot of women have to go through that. I realized that I couldn't help her here, and my dad was counting on me, so I told her I needed to leave. I'm sorry. Just the fact that you're in the room is you being there for your wife. That's you helping. That's literally all that's being asked of you, and you can't even do that. It's just sad. She started screaming at me so loudly that a few nurses rushed over to our room. I ended up doing the presentation with the clients, and things went well. I leave the office to see a text on my phone that said my wife delivered an hour ago at around 10:30 a.m. and they had to use forceps. I would have missed the meeting had I stayed, and my dad has given me everything he could possibly give me in life, so I didn't want to let him down. Okay, this is one of those things that women all the time. This is a dangerous process. There's so many things that go along with it, and having your significant other there in that moment is more important than anything else, in my opinion anyway. I would love to know what your wife was saying in the moment when she was screaming at you, because I feel like it was probably valid. Am I the a-hole? I had responsibilities I had to take care of while my wife was still screaming at me, saying she was alone when they destroyed her body. I'm the only one who works, and her mom herself said that she was emotional and overreacting. Wow. My wife even went as far as to say that her family would disown her if she was the first of them to divorce, but that she doesn't consider me her husband right now. That is something that I think you will end up regretting later on in life. You're the a-hole. Shocker. I realized that I couldn't help her here. Yeah, you could. You could provide a comforting, supportive presence while she's extremely scared and in pain. Thank you. Instead, you abandoned her, which made everything even more stressful. And seeing the baby come out was overrated. It's not. I agree with that. There's a reason why people usually list the birth of their children as the most memorable moments in their lives, and you missed it. Couldn't have said it better myself. You are the a-hole. You are freaking kidding me. It was a painful experience. She squeezed your hand too hard. Wow. Almost like you experienced labor yourself. That was kind of what I was thinking, like, really? She squished your hand too hard, really? Imagine what she's going through. Couldn't have said that. Like, just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. You're the a-hole. God, you may be the biggest a-hole of the week. Your wife, the woman you vowed to stand by for the rest of your life, was having what could likely be the most traumatic experience of her life, and instead of supporting her, you left her because you figured helping your dad was more important. Not to mention, it's also traumatic for her body because she's literally pushing out 2 kids. Not 1, 2. The second you get married, your nuclear family becomes your wife and your children. They should become your first priority, and you've managed to abandon them at a time when your wife needed you and missed the birth of your children. You'd be lucky if you ever get to see those kids. You need a reality check. It's unfortunate your wife doesn't want to divorce you. Hopefully she changes her mind. The person that wrote this, apparently his account is suspended. That's interesting. I wonder why. Yep, the comments pretty much covered it on that one. Alright, y'all. I hope this was a nice pause in your busy day. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. It is just me and my husband, and every little bit helps. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.